Okay, perfect. So is there anybody who is interested in running for vice chair?
Mark's saying it's not letting him join.
Letting him join the new link? I'll send him the link on.
Someone else is missing too, I think. Carly's missing. Oh no, Carly's just there. I'm so blind. My bad, Carly.
Can someone try sending Mark the link? I can't open up my, oh, there he is.
There we go.
Yeah, I can talk about the roles of chair and vice chair. So the chair of the board, you won't have, I'm talking to James now, you won't have to do any like administrative tasks. I can take care of that. I can do the agenda and get everything posted, that's fine. When we have the meetings, you will call the meeting to order and then chair the meeting. So you'll go through the agenda items. You'll call for the mover, you'll call for the seconders, make sure that we have a vote on each motion. There will be the occasional time when the communication needs to go out to a student or somebody who comes to the board from the board, and that would come from the chair. And of course, if you would need help, writing anything out, we can certainly help you with that. The vice chair is just there to fill in for the chair whenever the chair is not there. So same responsibilities, but no responsibilities during the meeting if the chair is present. So I would say that there's maybe an hour or two extra time commitment. If something's coming to the board, we may want to talk to the chair ahead of time. And as discussed at the training that we did, if a board member maybe wants to share a conflict of interest ahead of time, or if they have a concern with something on the agenda, they may wish to talk to the chair about it. So other than that, it's really not a ton more time commitment. It's the main role is really just chairing the meetings from start to finish. So if you want, James, I can take us through the election of vice chair and then I can hand it over to you.
Yes, please.
Okay, sounds good. So I have Aaliyah and Aisha both have their hands up. Are you both interested in being vice chair? Okay, nodding. Carly, are you interested as well, or do you have a question?
I'm interested as well.
Carly interested as well. Okay. Anybody else interested? Okay, perfect. If you want, maybe we'll do like we do at BUSU. The three of you could just speak for 60 seconds on why you'd like to be vice chair, and then we'll do the same thing. You guys can message me who you'd like to vote for. So we'll go in that order. We'll go Aaliyah, Aisha, and then Carly. So you guys can go ahead.
Okay, hey guys. Well, I just love being involved in everything I do and like taking whatever I do to the next level and putting 100% of my effort into that. I don't really like just, being part of it and like, watching. I kind of just like want to be involved, being a leader and taking responsibilities. So I want to take more responsibility with this role. And I personally think that I have personality, the professionalism, the work ethic, and the dedication to fulfill these duties. And I hope you guys feel comfortable to come to me if you need anything or have any concerns that you want to address. And I feel like I'd be just like the perfect person you guys can come to and talk to about anything. Yep, that's all.
Perfect. Thanks, Aaliyah. Aisha, go ahead.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, I'm really excited. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be the vice chair or run for the vice chair because I have quite a lot of experience with different departments at Brock. I've also been one of the co-chairs for a committee, the BUSU GSV committee. So I'm really hoping that I can bring that to this role. I'm looking forward to being more involved in this role, but I'm learning to take a step back in my leadership role. So being able to be a supporter and more of a team supporter in in the background. So just being able to support the chair and, like Kaylee said, just fitting in the role as a backup when needed, but also being able to be a point of communication between the chair and any other person that we need to speak with on the board. But yeah, I can assure you that I'm always dedicated, committed to whatever it is that I'm doing. And I can assure you that I'd be an amazing fit for the role.
Perfect. Thank you, Aisha. Carly, go ahead.
Hey everyone. First, I just want to apologize for my camera being off. My internet is not having it today. I think I could make a really good vice chair just because I have had a lot of different experiences within BUSU and Brock in general. And I think I'm a pretty strong leader and always someone that's a friendly face to talk to. So if anyone ever had any questions or needed any help with anything, I always like to step up and just help wherever I can. I know obviously the vice chair doesn't have quite as much responsibility as James is going to be taking on, but if he ever needs someone else to step up, I feel like I'd be more than capable and more than confident to be able to fulfill all that is required for that and do so with some passion and excitement. And yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you three very much. If you would like, can everybody message me who they would like to vote for, and I will record it on my end and then share who will be the vice chair. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Okay, perfect. Thank you all. Our vice chair is going to be Carly. Congratulations, Carly and James. Record that. Perfect. So James, did you want to kind of take over as chair? Do you want me to help? What would you like?
Can you share the agenda? Because I only have like a picture of it. I couldn't get it from the portal.
No, that's okay. I need to share it again anyways. So we're on number 6 for conflict of interest.
All right, does anyone want to declare a conflict of interest?
I mean, I believe that it's going to be in camera for the presentation, so I'm going to have to declare conflict for that one.
Me too.
Okay, we can. There's two motions for the in camera. So when we go in camera before we talk about the exact presentation, I'll note the conflicts then, if that's okay with everyone.
And this is for conflicts pertaining to the entire agenda today?
No, you'd be declaring a conflict for a specific item on the agenda, or more than one item on the agenda.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're good to move on. I'll record that when we get there.
I was just telling Yasmin, I wasn't prepared for this. It's kind of weird. So here we go. We have summer meeting dates, June 28th, July 26th, August 30th. I don't really think we need to have a discussion for this. I guess we can move to a vote. If, well, actually we need a motion.
Yeah, so usually, so James, I'm sorry, James, under the speaker's note, usually somebody will be listed. This is actually Dave O'Connor. and they can usually speak to it briefly. There's not really anything to speak. I just want to schedule the meetings ahead of time so that everybody knows when the board's meeting. So once we get to the fall and everyone has their school schedules, we can reevaluate if Tuesday nights work. But this is what I'm proposing we schedule for the summer.
So I'm assuming Mark and Carly's hands are to move in second.
I actually have a question.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
Would it be just, I guess, assumed that it'd be the same, like 6 to 9?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
okay. So Mark's moving, and can we get a seconder? I feel like it would be a lot faster if we just do those opposed first.
Your chair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
which you can do, James, is if you can have kind of like a consensus vote. So if something is not contentious, you can just say, is there anyone opposed? And if no one's opposed, I'll assume that everybody's voting in favor.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. So
Okay.
I'm assuming everyone's in favor of this one. Nobody opposed. Or I guess maybe it's Aisha, are you opposed?
I just have a question. What happens if we're unavailable for one of the dates?
It's best to just let James know ahead of time, and you'll just be absent for one of the meetings. That's okay. Okay, perfect. So we will go ahead with those dates. I'm just going to send the new Zoom link to Dave, and he can join us. Got a capital request. Robert, did you maybe want to preface this while I'm inviting James or Dave in about capital and kind of general? Sorry, as you move.
Sorry about that all. My dog needed to come in from outside. So can everybody hear me? So the Isaacs as a facility is looking to do some refreshing of its brand. And so if you look very carefully at Isaacs, both outside, it actually looks like one thing if you actually look at the signage outside. And then if you look in multiple places, including the doors and inside in some of its light boxes and in the menu, it looks different all over the place. And coming into sort of this Canada Summer Games this summer in August, we will have all of Canada here. We will also then open it up for our students next year. And our students really haven't participated in Isaac's activities, which include certainly a bar, but it includes a restaurant, but it includes activities that are occurring there. And so what we're looking to do is get a bit of a consistent look and feel to what Isaac's looks like. We're not looking to change the name. We're not looking to change anything, but what we're looking to do is come up with one consistent sort of set of imagery for the actual facility. And so Dave will bring that forward. There was sort of Dave worked on that. He sought input from marketing. So Jesse, and he's going to bring that forward from a capital perspective today. I'm happy to answer any questions, but Dave is really the lead on this particular project. But again, if there's any questions right now, I'm happy to answer them.
Perfect. I just sent him the invite. Just give him 1 minute. He was probably sitting in the old link, waiting for me to invite him in. Robert, do you want to talk about the 2 ratings maybe?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So with respect to capital requests at BUSU, there is a board governance policy. And the board governance policy indicates that all capital requests coming from something called the BUSU Capital Fund. So the BUSU Capital Fund is a restricted fund that the students voted on to support from a financial perspective. And what the capital fund actually requires is that it's read once, and then it comes back to the board to read twice. What sometimes happens, and we'll see what happens today, but sometimes what happens is that we will actually have the opportunity to vote on it once. If there isn't any major concerns, sometimes what Kaylee and the board chair, James, in this particular instance, will do is circulate a motion for a second vote via email. So that's something that does happen occasionally, but our current board governance policy requires 2 votes on any access to the BUSU Capital Fund.
Great, thank you, Robert. Dave, sorry about the mix-up with the new link. Welcome, though. I'm going to bring up the sheet for you. Are you there, Dave? Can you hear us?
Well, since we got some awkward silence here, has anyone seen the new fence at Isaac's? I think it looks pretty good. If all the rest of the new stuff looks like it's going to be pretty nice in there.
There's a lot of flowers out there now. Lindsay did a lot of flower boxes. It looks really nice.
It looks really nice. I like it a lot. I'm just waiting for Isaac's to get what are they, like a fire pit? That'd be nice. Ooh. I'm just saying, if there was a fire pit and they have like an evening thing, I would be there every day. Every day.
Might be a bit too close to a building for a fire. Maybe a gas one.
That fence was built in 1991 or 1992.
Dave, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
I had a problem with my audio a few minutes ago, but we're all good now.
No worries. No worries. Go ahead with your request and maybe introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate this. My name is Dave O'Connor, and I'm the Director of Social Enterprises here at BUSU. I'd like to today just to discuss our capital request for Isaac's Bar and Grill. Isaac's Bar and Grill, obviously, you know where it is. It's located in the upper floor of the Student Alumni Center. During the summer, we have the patio, and we are the only fully licensed place on campus that services students and faculty. We provide good pricing for meals and different events for students throughout the year. Our request is to rebrand Isaac's Bar and Grill to just become Isaac's. We're asking the board today for $12,000 for that rebrand. That rebrand would include 2 new exterior signs, one located above the patio and one on the other side of the building. New interior light box located in our lounge area. New vinyl for the entrance doors featuring the name and logo. New vinyl flooring for directional arrows. New sandwich board covers with the new name and logo. Business cards for Lindsay. Logoed barrier covered for advertising the space over the balcony. Coasters with our logos on them. A new fresh logo with brand and style guidelines. New staff shirts. New shirts for merchandising. We should get about 48 of those. A promotional photo shoot. Tabletop menus. It'll give us a new look on social media for new promotions based on the relaunch. We're also going to get some etched wood cutting boards with the new logo in them, and logoed bandanas for the staff, also for merchandising. The reason for the rebrand and the update of signage is so that we can have a consistent look on campus. Right now, our signage and the look is a mixture of items from past decades, and we're hoping to provide a makeover for Isaac's that will help enhance the brand on campus and give our restaurant a fresh new look. We as a business want to be more inclusive. So by taking bar as a reference out of Isaac's, we can be more inclusive to all students and focus more on the other things that we offer. We do obviously have food and drinks, but we also offer live entertainment, trivia, karaoke, pub nights, events, meeting space for clubs, and much more. And if we can appeal to a larger base of students with what we have to offer, it will be better for our business in the long run. We'll be purchasing these items through a promo company, which we have used them for many years to order swag and other signage. They provide competitive pricing and will be we have a good relationship with them. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. The bottom line is we want to create a space that's more appealing to a larger demographic of students. And some people just aren't interested in coming to it if it's a bar, but we're so much more than a bar, and we want to make that prevalent to the students on campus.
Perfect. Thank you, Dave. So James, after we have a presentation, we usually ask for questions to the presenter. The presenter would then leave. We would put out the motion, get a mover, seconder, have a discussion, and then vote. So, does anybody have any questions for Dave? Okay, Dave, thank you for joining us.
All right,
I think Yasmin might have a question.
Oh, can't see the hands.
Well, thank you for your presentation first off. I think we all were able to see a lot of the good things that Isaac's provides for us that we didn't really realize. But I was just wondering, do you have any pictures of the new sign or anything? If you don't, that's fine. I was just curious.
We've got something in the works right now. We want to have a big unveil for that and build some hype around it for sure.
Okay, I'll trust you guys then with that.
It's a classic look. It's nothing it's timeless and classic, so it's nothing that's going to go out of style 20 minutes from now. So we really have we put a lot of effort into it. Lindsay's worked hard at it. Dale and Jesse and marketing have put a lot of effort into it. So it's something we're really happy to do. We just want to build some hype around it, and it's nothing that's going to look, oh, that looks like 1987. You know, it's something that's going to stand the test of time.
Awesome. Well, if this motion passes, then I'm looking forward to seeing everything you guys have planned.
Excellent. Thank you.
Is there any other questions for Dave? Robert, you had your hand up briefly. Did you have anything to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dave, for joining us. We'll see how the vote goes, but we may have a second reading at the next meeting, or we may have a virtual vote for the second reading in a few days.
Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so discussion, right?
Well, let's get the motion on the table, get a mover, seconder, and then we'll have the discussion.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Do you want me to read the motion?
I don't have. Oh, it's right
I know
there.
You don't have, I know. Okay.
So yeah, it's right there. I thought it was going to be on the agenda. Okay, so be it resolved that the board approves $12,000 from capital in its first reading for Isaac's rebrand project. So we need a mover and a seconder. So Austin and Aisha. And I think this is, I mean, I think so. Is anybody opposed to this?
We would have just good practice to see if there's any kind of discussion on it first.
Yeah, my bad. So anybody have any thoughts? I think we kind of talked about how nice it looks right before the presentation. So.
And if there is no discussion points, then yes, we can go to a vote.
Okay, well, is anyone opposed? Are there any abstentions? So it looks like a unanimous decision.
Okay,
there we go.
Now, just curious, is the board comfortable with me emailing, requesting a virtual vote for the second reading so that Dave and his team can start ordering all this stuff?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, should be good.
Perfect. Okay, Andrea, I'm going to bring up your sheet.
Okay. So next we got Andy, right? Okay. Menstrual product approval. Do we get a mover first, or does Andy talk about it first?
Talk first, questions to her, and then we move on to the motion.
All right, take it away, Andy.
Okay, I will try to make this brief because I know you all have a long night ahead of you. But so basically, what is happening when I bring it towards you? BUSU started a menstrual equity project in 2018. It was first kind of started very small scale. So we had menstrual products in the BUSU office. From there, BUSU collabed with different services at Brock, and we tried to put the menstrual products in the bathrooms to make them more accessible. We did that for about a year, and then after that pilot program had finished, it seemed to be successful, and it was successful, and so the vending machines got dispersed all across campus in different bathrooms. You may have noticed them. We have them in our gender neutral bathrooms. We have them in both female and male bathrooms as well, specifically our higher traffic washrooms. And since then, we have done a number of different testing with the distributor. We were using Citron Hygiene, was the company's name, before we switched to Brock. So they were coming in, they were providing the full service of stocking the machines, providing the products and whatnot. We realized it would be more cost effective if we just had Brock supply and stock the machines and maintenance the machines, because they were coming in and doing the washrooms anyways. So now we're at the point of last year, giving you a quick history right now, where Brock has been taking care of this, and they want to, facilities management wants to partner with BUSU to continue the partnership for the contribution. So basically what that looks like is last year, the previous VPFA had a conversation with Brock, and it would look at around $10,000, but that is over a 4-year duration. So it would be $2,500 per year to continue the menstrual equity project. I don't know if I need to kind of stress the importance of this project to all of you, but it has been highly successful and very well received across campus. So if you do have any questions, I know I did just throw a lot of history at you very quickly, but please feel free to ask. That's basically it.
Well, thank you, Andy. Any questions for Andy?
Sorry,
yeah,
I do
go
have.
ahead. Mark already started. Go ahead. Are you talking?
Sorry, did somebody begin speaking?
No, you did.
Okay.
Go for it.
I was just wondering, so in terms of how much we were providing previously to this year, is it the same or?
That is an excellent question, Mark. Robert, do you know the exact amount that we were contributing before? Because obviously we at the beginning we were solely doing it, and now it is Brock doing it. But to keep the program, we do they want us to contribute that amount because they are fully handling all of the maintenance of the machines and whatnot.
Okay.
I can find out that amount for you though, unless Robert knows.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. So James, through you, Mr. Chair. The actual cost of BUSU for 1 year was about $10,000 per year, and that was for 8 washrooms. So, you know, in this particular arrangement with Brock, what happens in student unions quite often is that the students start something, and then what happens is the university says, oh, this is a good idea. And then the university says, hey, look what we just did. But it's often started by the student unions in many cases. So this is a case where the student union started this in 1998, or pardon me, in 2018, when this really wasn't a topic of conversation. You would have just saw this week, if you're following the news, Western just did this in a fairly large way. And the student union in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 kind of moved this along. And then the university said, this is what we must do. We were 4 years ahead of them. And now the university is doing this in a fairly large way. So our contribution in the past, Mark, to answer your question quickly, was about $10,000 for a very limited pilot project.
Okay, good. Because that was one of my major concerns involving it, is that, you know, wonderful initiative, but once you said like the pilot project, not only does it garner support from Brock, but also I think more students would get engaged with it and try to utilize the services. So just to make sure we have enough funding to actually provide it for everyone. But if it's partnered with Brock and that they're just demanding this amount from us, then I think we'll be okay.
Thanks for the question, Mark, and thanks for the clarification, Robert. We can move on to Aaliyah's question.
Hey, I just had the same question as Mark, so it's okay.
Okay, so we'll move on to Ben.
Thank you. So I just have a question about the facilities. So something that came to the Senate IT&I committee recently was that yet again, the Burlington campus is going to be delayed in its reopening till about 2024. And so I just want to, make sure, will the Hamilton's campus be supported until then, as well as, the Marilyn I. Walker campus and places such as the International Center that, are sometimes, forgotten in these kinds of projects. I just want to clarify. Thanks.
So I believe right now we have 19 and they are in our high traffic washrooms. Again, does this mean that we can't expand? Absolutely not. But right now we do have, I believe, at least one in the International Center. And then I'm not entirely sure about the Hamilton campus, but again, there's no like reason why I wouldn't be open, or eventually we would be open to expanding the project as well. But right now it's 19 that Brock is maintaining and upkeeping, excuse me.
Okay, perfect. And the Maryland campus, was there anything there? Or I imagine like you'll be able to do something about it if there isn't anything there, right?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I can't check in on that. I can't see why there would not be, especially if they are in our highest traffic washrooms, but I don't know the answer to that currently, but I can find out.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question, Ben. That was actually a really good question. I was thinking about that too. On to Aisha.
Thank you, James. I was hoping to find out how much is the total cost of the projected program for the next 4 years, and how much Brock is contributing in towards that total cost. So if we're covering 10,000 and Brock is paying some part, I'm assuming. So how much is the total cost and how much is Brock covering? How much are we covering?
So again, Brock is supplying all of the products. They are handling all of the maintenance to the machines and whatnot, because there's something that goes in it, I believe. Again, I'm not a tech person, but there's something that goes in it. So you don't have to put anything in it to pay. They just come out. And I believe it's just paying like the maintenance of it. I am not entirely sure how much Brock is paying for it. But if we do, again, look at how much we would be paying over the 4 years versus how much money it did cost us to handle it on our own, you can kind of see the discrepancy there. And again, I'm sorry, I don't have all of the answers to these questions. This project just kind of got handed to me when I started recently. So I wish I had more answers for you. I don't know if Robert knows any of the answers to these questions. And also in terms of, I know someone said in the chat, if I'm allowed to speak, East Academic. I'm not sure if they do have any machines in East Academic, just because, again, I don't know where the 19 washrooms are located, but I know for a fact that there is one in the International Center, mostly just because I've seen it. So.
Thank you, Aisha, for your question, and thanks for that note, Carly. On to Hannah's question.
Yeah, I feel like we had a fair number of online classes still in the winter semester. So has the higher number of students that should be on campus for next year been considered in this amount?
I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, I don't believe that it is per like usage. I believe we're agreeing to $10,000 over the 4 years. And then that potentially could be negotiated after that with Brock, but we are paying $2,500 a year, 10,000 over the 4 years, no matter how many products are being used or whatnot. I don't know if they are keeping track of how many products are being used. I would assume they are. So that might be something to look at after the end of the 4 years to see how many products are being used and if it is being cost effective.
Robert, do you want to go ahead?
Thanks, Mr. Chair. So the budget that they provided us was based on 2019 numbers. So they provided us a budget based on full occupancy of about $7,300 per year. Based on the $7,300 a year, they requested from us $2,500. So that was the budget that they provided us at Brock University when we were moving forward.
Thank you, Robert. Aaliyah, do you have a different question now?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Chair. I was just actually wondering if there was a surplus of products from previous years, if you know the answer to that, Andy.
We do not.
Robert, do you have an answer to that?
I do. So we actually received a fairly significant donation of product, and we exhausted all product in our COVID year. So we basically in 2020 we provided products all over the place. So Recreation Services, Student Justice Center, the BUSU office. And then in the COVID year, even though there was very limited traffic on campus, we exhausted any products that we had. So we have zero product in our BUSU inventory. Brock, of course, has been stocking menstrual products on campus that required a coin mechanism for many, 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 many years, and they keep a stock of the items.
Thank you, Robert. I guess it seems like the end of the questions. So be it resolved that board approves $10,000, $2,500 per year over 4 years to Brock for the menstrual equity. Menstrual product. Oh no, there's two titles here. I got confused. Menstrual equity topic sheet, or is it menstrual product approval? I don't know, but can we get a mover and a seconder? So Mark and Austin, I don't know, does it put the hands in the order of the person who put it up first? Okay, yeah. And like the other ones, I think it's just faster to go if there's anybody that is against. Carly and Austin, are your hands for against, or are they from before? Okay, and anybody abstaining? Probably not. All right, unanimous 3 times in a row.
Okay, so we will move in camera now. Once we vote to move in camera, I'll stop the recording. And then there's 2 items in camera, one that Robert's going to talk about, and then one that I think Yasmin may talk about. We just need a motion. So be it resolved, board moves in camera at 7:25 p.m. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Austin and Hannah. Is there any opposition to moving in camera? Okay, perfect. Just give me 1 sec. I'm going to recording.